so I know that this is going to be the easiest of questions for you. And I can't believe how often it is so hard for people to answer the question, what's your secret sauce? What's the thing that makes you you? What's the thing, you know, what is the strength and the gifts that you have that are innate? Like, I looked at many of Renee's gifts, and many of them are innate, right? Like, she excavated them, and then she basically just amplified the gifts that she has in leadership. And we've had conversations. My view is that they write books about leadership, and Renee just innately has it as a leader for us. And so my question to you is, what is your secret sauce?
I would say my secret sauce is that I learned at a very young age, and that's where my hotel career with a coaching career, and then the career now to be a tech founder, is to serve others. So I really have a strong sense that I'm here to help illuminate, support, and help others to be the best that they can possibly be. And so finding a healthy way to serve others. So yeah, I've always, from a young age, as a young child, would be the confident, would be the person that people would share and talk to. I'd be always helping everybody.
The trusted advisor.
So, yeah, really, truly. And so it was really revolutionary for me to commercialize that, because I was just finding myself in too many relationships, helping too many people. I wasn't healthy. I was just wanting to help everybody. And so when I decided that that was actually a way to have a career path where I could professionally help people, it made every other relationship in my life just to be great friends rather than me trying to help everybody, solve everybody's problems.
Amazing. Okay, so, got it. What are some of the other things that you think are your secret sauce? Passion.
I've got incredible resilience and grit. I left out an extraordinary, I think, piece of the story. I don't know how I left this part out. Okay. So I recovered from that illness from when I was living in Singapore. But in 2003, I got very, very ill again. And I had just launched a big key part of my business and taken on 15 employees. It was a key stage in the business. And I got, after a diving trip, I got palsy down the right side of my body, severe pain in my head. I started having seizures, and I got diagnosed with a very, very rare autoimmune disease called cerebral vasculitis. Got also diagnosed with systemic lupus. And I got told that I had 6 months before I would be deaf, blind, and mute, and that I actually had 2 years before the disease would be fatal. And I was told that they don't know what causes the autoimmune diseases, and they don't know how to cure it. And so it was an extraordinary time and moment in my life. And we realized that all the illness that I'd had before, which no one knew what it was actually the same disease, but had never been diagnosed. So I'd actually been ill for about 11 years. And I was losing my memory. I was losing loss of speech. This is while I was traveling around the world teaching other people things. I was actually while I wrote my books. And it took me 5 years, but I was able to create a cure for myself. I have no evidence of the diseases whatsoever. I still have a little bit of brain damage that I have to deal with, but I've got no more disease. And through that same period, I found 70 other people who had severe autoimmune diseases and helped them in the same way with the entrepreneurial research that I did to find the pattern between them. And so one of the things that, so with a group of 70 other people who all had autoimmune disease, we're looking at multiple sclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis, type 1 diabetes, etc. There's more than 80 different autoimmune diseases. I was able to help between all of us to be able to help myself 100% cure the disease. And I was able to help many of the other people either reduce their symptoms or also cure their disease. And so when you ask me about a secret sauce or my uniqueness, I think this is also what breeds into me as a coach, is that there is always a way. So when you're faced with something, even like medical doctors who tell me I'm going to die and that I better get my affairs in order, I always think there is another way. So it's creativity, it's figuring things out. There's always, to every single thing, there is always a solution. You just don't know what it is.
And it's hope. right? Like looking at something and saying, hey, nothing is hopeless. There's a way forward. I will find a way. I'm just going to continue looking at different things in different areas, and I will find a way to navigate this. And then the ability to be able to take those 70 people, do some research, and then help them as well. It's incredible. What approach did you take? What approach did you take to the disease that you had? Did you take a lifestyle approach, nutritional approach, wellness approach, meditation? Did you, if you don't mind sharing that with us?
So the medical field didn't have a cure. So they had prescribed for me to have chemotherapy, not because it would cure the disease, but because it might extend my life longer than 2 years. But I know that chemotherapy also really ruins the immune system. And so I made the decision that I was not going to have chemotherapy, and I made the decision that I would figure it out. So I took a very, very holistic approach to the process. Yes. And I looked at things from a nutritional standpoint, from a mental, emotional standpoint, yes. from a spiritual standpoint. Yes. And I'm a person who looks for patterns. So I looked for patterns in my own symptoms, yes. and started to find some cause and effect between when things got worse and when they were better. And so we discovered that I had extreme allergic reactions to many different things. And so we eliminated all of those things, and my symptoms disappeared. But then I was a person who was literally only able to eat 6 things. And so progressively we were able to desensitize me to all of those things, simultaneously as looking at the cognitive, behavioral and emotional relationship between myself and what would stimulate the disease response. So that's a whole very interesting field, which is called psychoneuroimmunology.
Wow.
And
so, okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Wow. What a story.